Shut up and sit down.
Hello gang, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. Welcome to part 2 of the Kawasaki H2 carbon build-up. For all things Festa, pop over to Festa67'sworkshop.com and remember, thumbs up, subscribe and ring the bell, folks. So what are we going to be doing today? I think we'll do a bit of dechroming on these exhausts to start that ball rolling. So I've got a jar of oven bright right in front of me. Normally I would wear gloves, but it's a bit warm at the moment. But as you can see, you dip the chrome in and it just literally burns it off. So I'll use my spudger to get this stuff out because it's got oven bright on it. And then I let it soak 24 hours in a tub of water. And then I'll go and rinse it all off away from the bench, folks. So that's what we're going to be doing there. If you've not stripped chrome off and are wondering why we do it, kit chrome can sometimes be a little bit too shiny. So we like to burn it off and then spray our own chrome on so you can get a shade that you're happy with. That's why we do it. I'm often asked. I've given my oven bright a shake and I tend to mix it with a little bit of water as well, this oven bright, just to make it a little less gloopy. So as you can see, it does the job rather quickly, doesn't it? Yeah. So you're talking minutes rather than overnight with this stuff, but it can burn your skin. That's why I'm using an old pair of tweezers and a spudger. So let it do its thing and we'll get them exhausts and all of that lot dechromed. So hopefully you've all been all right. Sorry it's been a little bit of a delay in this episode coming, but real life. But we're getting there. But look at that. It's taken that straight down to the black under plastic. So, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that, to be honest with you. So there's the front exhaust pipes. Get them sections going. Now, it's going to be quite a little bitty episode. We're just going to be building up bits and bobs and getting stuff ready for paint and things like that. But it just lets you see what processes I go through when I do these builds, folks. Now, this kit was sent to me by a lovely lady called Wendy Hickson, with an H. And yeah, she very kindly sent me this, and I'm so happy that I finally got round to start building it for her because, yeah, it's been sat on the shelf over there and I've been wanting to get round to doing it, and finally we have. So Wendy, if you're out there watching this, massive, massive hugs and thank yous yet again for sending me a kit. It really does make a difference, love, and I hope you enjoy the finished result when you see it at the end. So we'll just carry on doing these. Look at that. It's totally gone, isn't it? It's stunning. And it saves you so much hassle because back in the day it was sandpaper or Dettol or thick bleach or whatever, and you'd leave it in a jar of bleach for a day or so and then still have to go at it. But this oven bright stuff, it pretty much does what it says in the tin, folks. So that's had a nice soak. Let's just have another quick look. Whoa, isn't it? And that's pretty much done, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to dry a couple of these bits out just to see what they actually have come up like, because we might be able to get on and start a bit of buildy with them. So let's just get rid of any rogue stuff that we don't want, because I've got photo etch going on here as well. Yeah, Festa's curse, photo etch. Literally, that's just buffing off perfectly. So we'll start doing a bit of decurling on this. I'm carbon fibering a lot of the plastic parts, just because the bike's got a lot of carbon fibre components, and I've had a look round on the kit. And even though in real life some of them ain't got the carbon parts that I'm putting on, I just thought I'd make mine a little different and carbon a lot of stuff as well. So I'm using the ultimate decal solutions on this, and I'm just bedding the decal down and then letting the fluids do their job to get this to conform to the shape. Now, a lot of folks when you're doing this, they get a bit frightened when they see all the wrinkles start appearing, and they'll go straight at it with the cotton bud, the brush, and all of that. Don't worry, folks. Them wrinkles will disappear. If they don't, then just apply a little bit more decal solution on that particular wrinkle and then work it with your cotton bud. Otherwise, you'll be chasing the wrinkles round and then you'll tear the decal. So, yeah. I think we've got a bit of the rear mudguard there done. That's all carbon fibred. The swing arm isn't, so don't go carbon fibre in that. But as you can see on my hand there, that's got carbon fibre and decal on it, and then that'll have clear coat put over that just to protect it. I was going to 2K this one, but I think that might be a bit too shiny for it, so I'm going to use the Zero Clear on this one just to give it a bit of shine, but I don't want to go too mad and have a really huge deep shine on it. Sorry. So we'll just have a looky-loo, see what bits else we can show you. There's the front fender. So that's got carbon on it. Why not? Because you can. So yeah, get all of those bits and bobs sorted out. I've got, trying to think what else I've got the carbon fibre. There's a few side parts around the tank. They're going to get done. A couple of the sleeves. I think it's on the forks. Got to be done. And then that'll be it on there. The carbon. Oh, and the front fairing, of course. Yeah, mustn't forget the front fairing, the top part of it. The sides are getting done with a C1 metallizer. So I've just noticed a little bit on there. So let's give that a larrapin. And give that another go, because I wasn't happy with the first decal. It had a slight section missing on one edge where I'd cut it a little bit too short and it had shrunk back. So I'm just redoing the middle section on this because I'm a bit fussy and I would have known it was there. So we've got the frame done in silver. So then that'll get the Kawasaki green going over it. You'll notice as well that I chopped out a section each side of the headstock there, folks, because it was filled in with plastic and I didn't like it. So, yeah, so I chopped that out and I put a couple of little bits of a styrene tube in there, and then that'll be shot with a black base, a silver, and then it'll have the Kawasaki green over it. So we'll be doing that. But let's get this decal down, show you how we do that. Now, it's not a seam down the middle, that's just the leftovers from where I've had a big thick bead of glue filled a seam in and I've sanded it back. And it's just left a little bit of a ghost on there, but I'm not fussed because it's getting decaled over. So we're just letting that soak off shot even. Make it a little bit more pliable, and then we can bring that over and start dropping it on the front of that mudguard. Just like that. I'll hold that in place with my thumb, slap that on there out of the way, and then we can start having a bit of a fettle with this, just to see, because this is a compound curve. It curves forward, but it also curves to both sides. So you want to start in the middle, like a dartboard. Start at the bullseye and work yourself around to the doubles. It's the best way of describing it. So yeah, there you go. Just start feathering it out bit by bit by bit. And then as the solution starts to do its thing, you can then quickly go at it. Now the first solution sticks it, and then it's the strong and the extra strong that actually start the melting part of the job. It basically melts the decal a little bit, but you need to be a little bit subtle with your brush strokes. Now, people out there will be cringing that I'm using my thumbs, but I'm deftly just putting a light bit of pressure on, and for me, just using the pad of my thumbs seems to work like a buffing pad. So I find it works for me. Not everyone likes this when I do it, but hey, you know, You'll do things differently. And then I can just now start going at it right round the edges of them creases and start pushing them to the edge. And you'll see now that it's just starting to begin to conform. And you just keep going around in circles, doing what I'm doing, just rolling them creases towards the edge. And then they will start disappearing, folks. So I'll swap solutions and we'll start giving it a bit of a kick up the bum now. Just give it a little bit of a persuasionary kick. So we'll slap them on there like that. Just work it around all the areas of the decal where it's got to conform to little indentations and bolt holes and all of that. And it will just start doing what we want it to do, which is melting the decal and helping it to comply. Now, a lot of the creases you can get away with your brush. So we'll be doing that and just feathering it out, as you can see. And it's just beginning to go. So I'm going to do this back edge and then work myself around towards the front, because I've got a recess in there where the fork goes. So any excess from the back I can push along there and then lose it in the crease at the side like that. And then you can just bring that one there, give it a bit of a wet geezer, you will conform, and it will just drop in there, and then roll your Q-tip over. And these are Fran Wilson nail teas that I use here, because they've got a nice little taper on them. Oh yeah, look at that. And you just start just caressing it, nice and gentle. And she'll start conforming. And there's a ridge as well on this side part that comes up. So you've got to fold the decal in a 45-degree ridge. And then part of it goes in a triangular cutout. So it's quite a complex little shape, this fender. But as you can see, just with the normal strong solution, should I say, it's beginning to conform. And then anything then that needs even more persuasion, I can use the extra strong later on. We'll do the same on this side now. Just start bringing that around and getting that drop along the edge there. Same with the front there. And as you can see, it's just stretching it and moving it into the areas where you need a bit more decal. Now we can just bring it down over that edge. So let's do a bit of painty. As you can see in the bottom corner, there's a list of all the paints. It's a Zero.Paint set that I got for the H2R carbon from Hero Boy. You've got your Kawasaki green, frame green, you've got silver, you've got a clear coat, and you've got a gloss black. So we're going to have a bit of a spray Eakins, folks, just so that you can see what this is going to come up like. Again, don't forget this is time-lapsed and also edited, so there are many thin coats that go down, but obviously it's edited, so it will look like it's all been done at once, which it hasn't. So follow the instructions on the tin or the jar. Give it plenty of time between coats to dry, and then go back at it, multiple thin coats. Now, look at that green. How beautiful is that? Now, I'm looking at this, and if I've got any of this left over, I might do my Revell Land Rover in it. So keep an eye out for that build, folks. Well, this has been silvered, as you can see by me thumb, because someone's forgot to put his gloves on. Yeah. So you can tell me off, PJ. So we'll mist over a bit of a green over there. Just get that on there. Work my way round the edges, any little cutouts, tubes that are exposed. Just mist that round like so. That. And already it's looking beautiful. But the more coats you put on, the darker it will go, and it will get a nice deep green on it. And yeah, That's what I'm after. And I shall probably back spray a few areas just to make them a little bit darker than the rest, just so that it looks like shadow is hitting it. So I've blown a bit of air on there, and then I'll come back at it with another mist coat. So, have you a bit of him. I want to try and get round the back of that headstock as well, just to make sure it's coated. Already, to my eyes anyway, hopefully it's coming out on camera, but already that green is beginning to smile at me and go, yeah. So I won't go mad with it. I shall see how it looks in a mo, and if I need to come back at it, I shall give it another coat. Absolutely stunning. So final wet coat going down now, folks. I've had a look under me light, and I just want it to be a bit more bit more green. You know what I mean. So have a nice wet coat now, and it's looking rather splendid to me anyway. Right, so let's have a bit of assembly now. You can see the frame in the background has had its detail painting done, a few black parts on there. So let's have a looky-loo at what we can get built. Got a bit of build up with the engine. Done the first few pipes on it, and I've been round and put the black panels on. There are also some other mounting panels to go on that I've done in carbon fibre. This turbo has had its photo etch faceplate put on, and it's been painted with a red, and then it's had a hemi orange, very, very light mist of hemi orange on it, just to give it a little bit of contrast. So we put the airbox on now. And it's all really simple, folks. The instructions there are just on me left, and it is literally, with Tamiya kits, it is glue, attach, done. So, all my twitches there and shakes, I do apologise. It's just how I am, I'm afraid. Captain Twitchy. So, yeah. So try my other hand, in that one wants to mess me around. Bane of my life, but it is how it is, folks. There you go. We got there. And the engine then screws into the frame as per the instructions there, section 6. It tells you what screws you want. And the beauty of the Tamiya instructions is it gives you a picture of the screw. And when you hold the real screw against it, it's actually to scale. So if you're not sure what screw you want, pick it up, put it on the instructions. If it's the same size, that's the one you want, folks. I love that idea. And they also do it with all the piping as well, any tubes you want. They're all to scale. So, you know, where I cut my little section of frame out, I can feed this tube where it should go through the edge of the frame there. See? So it'll poke straight through where the front forks, handlebars will be, and all of that lot, and it'll get where it wants it to go. And this is a little bit of a persuasion fit. You just need to use your finger just to expand the frame very slightly so that it clears the cylinder head, and then the engine will just pop straight into the gap. So it's a little bit of a finagle, so mind your paint and just use your finger or your thumb like I'm doing, just to force, or say force, just to splay the engine mounts apart. And once you've got the cylinder head in, put your screws in, then you can rotate the back of the engine into its home, like that. And it does look beautiful, I must admit. Yeah, I'm liking that. That green frame just does it for me. There you go. Quick check round to make sure it's lining up where I want it to. Nothing's trapped. And then we can start popping in permanent fixings. Yeah. There. I want to make motorbike noises already. Just checking to make sure that that hole there's lining up, because it's a little bit out. So I'll just hold that in place and see what this side's like. It might well be that there's something, probably a pipe fouling, and it's just moving it slightly. So let's just have a quick double check just to see whether or not anything's fouling that area. Because there's a long pipe that goes right the way through the side there, so it might well be that. So I'll just rest that there, get the screwdriver, and we'll start putting in a couple of fixtures. And these screwdrivers are magnetic, so just pop your screw on the end. Once you've got the front ones in, you can then really do your manipulations of the frame then and get it where you want it. So if I just put these in and I nip them up, just so that they start to bite, and then we can work now and pop this in place. There you go, like that. Because it sits on a peg, that one. So that's the engine in the frame. Happy days. Coming along nicely. So let's get a few more screws out, see what we need. There you go. See, that's putting it on the instructions there to show you. And then we can screw the back part in, because I want to try and end this episode with the bike, hopefully with a swing arm on. And we can start beginning to see how it's coming together. So let's just try to get my Edward spanner hands to behave. There you go. And then we can turny that in there. And that will now pull that back end of that frame. And there's a little lug on the back as well, and it will just click into its little rebate. Bink. Just like that. Have you a bit of that. See? So it went in eventually, folks. It was just a little pipe that goes around the back of the turbo, was just catching. There's your suspension, your coil spring. So let's put that on there together. I've painted the spring yellow because I just fancy painting it yellow. Some people do it Kawasaki green, some people do it black. Just fancy doing it yellow. And then it's got a bit of clear orange over it, a bit like the MotoGP springs. And it just gave me a little change of colour. Just gives it the Festa touch, personalisation. After all, it's my bike. So have a quick looky-loo just to make sure that that's ready to go in. We'll attach that then properly to the swing arm. And then we'll get that all in place. And that's only a rest fit on that one. Normally you get a top screw that holds the top in. Then you get the bottom that attaches to the spring arm, but that's just got a peg on it, that one. So it looks like it just fits in a little cutout on the back. So we'll have a look at that and double check that. Yeah. Right, let's have a quick gander, see what we need. There's a bit of piping we want, so let's grab that. Just make sure we got the right length. Now you see on the instructions just below the picture, there's a length of pipe on there. There, so you put one end on there, get your cutters, bink, and that is the exact length of pipe that you want. Well done, Tamiya. There's a tiny peg, so I put plenty of the old white cap on there, and then this tube will sit on that lug. Just comes out the top there, like that. There you go. There you go. Hey, have you a bit of that? I want to make spring noises now. I need to get out more. Right, let's bung this on the swing arm now, folks. I just want to get the orientation right, and then just feed the tube through, click that into place, like so. And then there'll be a screw that goes in, goes through that section. Yeah, you will pick it up, Cole. Come on. it'll bite into the other side of the swing arm, so it'll hold that in place. Don't do it too tight. You want it to pivot slightly so that when you sit the bike together, the spring will then be able to be moved into its location groove. So don't over tighten it, folks. Just nip it up. Let it bite and then back it off a quarter of a turn so you get a little bit of play in it. Yeah. There you go. Have you some of that. I'm not going mad, by the way. I was building this in the Hangout and in the Zoom 24/7. So I was just waving goodbye to someone that was leaving that evening. So, yeah, I'm not going mad. There you go. Let's get the paddock stand together, because if we can get that swing arm and that on, then we'll be able to use the paddock stand to stand the bike on at some point. So might as well get it built now. That way it'll all dry and the wheels will all be dry, ready for when I need to use it. So we'll get them in place. Just like that. And a simple peg and hole fit. Peg one side, hole on the other wheel, feed it through, glue the other wheel on the other side, and Robert is one's uncle. Nice and simple. So we'll get that on like that. Go. It's coming together nicely. So we're getting near to the end of this little episode. Before we go, I'd like to say a big thank you to all me supporters, all of me patrons and me channel members. You really are fantastic people for showing me support during what is a tough time for everyone. So again, from my heart, big thank you to each and every one of you. Keep an eye out for your names on the end, all of you that are patrons and members. They'll be in the end credits there. So if you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop. Or you can click the join button below this or any of my other videos and become a channel member. Doing so will give you access to the Zoom 24/7 off-air hangout, but also, if you've got a webcam and mic, it gives you access to the live stream on a Sunday where you can come and say hello to everyone. So there's a little perk there for you as well. So give it a bit of thought, folks. And it all helps me keep the content coming for you, helps pay for all of this that I'm using. And yeah, absolutely. And we've got a lovely little community in the Zoom, so you're more than welcome to come and say hello. So we'll just put this on a clip and let that all dry, just off shot there. Now, are we going to have time to put that on? Shall we? Yeah, look at that. Whoa, isn't it? Yeah. That's your swing arm. That's your carbon mudguard, looking rather splendid. And you've got your engine in your chassis. So we'll put a little bit of white cap on there. Sling that on the swing arm and let that set. And then that will be that firmly in place then. Yeah. I reckon that's doable and we can leave it there then. Let's just try and do this without getting glue on me thumb. Get that in place. So we're going to wrap where we are. Next episode, that'll be all the wheels, brakes and all of that lot getting done. So we'll pause there. We'll love and leave you, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now. Bye!
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. used them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down,